Quickie poll on the U.S. presidential debate is out today with a snap judgment. It suggests the loser may have actually been the American voter. A CBS News poll finding most viewers, 69%, came away from the debate last night feeling annoyed. Here's a moment from the 90 minutes of chaotic crosstalk and insulting interruptions that shows why.
A comprehensive plan to replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well,
I got rid of the individual mandate.
I'm going to give you an opportunity.
I got rid of the individual mandate, which was a big chunk of
Obamacare.
That is absolutely a big thing. That was the worst part of Obamacare.
Sir,
Chris, that was the worst part of Obamacare.
Let me ask my question.
Well, I'll ask Joe. We'll protect people with
President, I'm the moderator of this
conditions.
debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer your question.
Go ahead.
And for more on the debate, we have invited back to the program Todd Graham, the Director of Debate for Southern Illinois University. Todd, nice to see you once again. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Michael. Good to see you again.
I want to get into the specifics of last night, but as you just heard, there's now this poll where the majority of Americans felt annoyed. I'm wondering about your overall impression of last night's debate. Was it what you expected?
I'm a big football fan from my hometown of Kansas City Chiefs, and I've never yelled as much at a television as I did last night. So not even during a football event. So just let me tell you this. People say the American people were the losers, but also I feel like my profession was a loser. And so the first thing I just want to say up top is don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Debate still has purpose. Debate can still be valuable, even presidential debates. But we are living in strange times, and Donald Trump does not follow any of the rules. But please don't give up on debate. Please don't give up on my profession. We can still turn this around.
Okay, now you predicted yesterday on the program that Donald Trump would use this tactic of interrupting quite frequently during the debate, and we did see that. And I'm going to share an example of that for people here in Canada who may have turned the debate off last night. Take a look at what happened.
That's why I'm going to eliminate the Trump tax cuts, and I'm going to eliminate those tax cuts and make sure that we invest in the people who, in fact, need the help. People out there need help.
But why didn't you do it over the last 25 years?
Because you weren't president. Because you weren't president screwing things up.
You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were
president America has ever had.
Hey,
Come
Joe,
on.
So again, there you have Biden trying to make a statement interrupted by Donald Trump. How do you think Biden did in responding to those kinds of interruptions as the night went on?
I called it average because Joe Biden did some interrupting of himself. So the grade that I gave him was average. Everyone else I gave a failing grade to, the moderator, Donald Trump. But because there are some techniques, while hard, there are some techniques that you can use to try to calm down someone who interrupts you. And one of the ways, by the way, is just to not make eye contact with them. People tend to interrupt more when they're looking at one another. So Joe Biden's got to make sure and not look at Donald Trump, either to interrupt him or in the other direction. But also, he needs to stand up a little bit and for himself. And there are other ways to do that. One thing I would coach him to do is just pause. Just absolutely stop and use the moderator's name. So just stop and go, Chris? Chris? Every time he's interrupted, just Chris? Because if the moderator doesn't do his job, then Joe Biden's going to have a very difficult time with Donald Trump. The other thing is there's some witty one-liners, things like, well, you know, President Trump, you had 2 minutes to answer this question and failed to do so. What makes you think interrupting me is going to make your answer any better? Little things like that that I have prepared would probably help.
It's interesting that you mentioned the fact that Joe Biden did not look at Trump directly. I wonder, as you say, less likely to be interrupted if you're not looking at someone, but I wonder if part of that was also to try to take over the narrative by addressing the American people directly and ignoring what was happening beside him.
Yeah, that's exactly what he should do. So he should be looking at, I've always said, either look at the camera or look at your notes like you're taking notes, or look at the moderator. But when you're debating Donald Trump, don't look at him, because it will make him more likely to interrupt you during your speech, and it will make you more likely to want to interrupt him during his speech. So even though it's the opposite of what I've always coached in debates, I always coach right to talk to the public, whoever's voting, which is fine. That's the camera. But I do say occasionally you should look at your opponent if you have something you want to say to them. But you can't do that with Donald Trump because it just causes more of the chaos that we saw last night. So no, I would always suggest camera or audience look at them.
Okay, listen, I want to get a bit deeper into Donald Trump's own performance there, because there was one part, and we've been talking about it today, many people have, where Trump was asked by the moderator, Chris Wallace, to denounce white supremacy. And for those who missed it, take a look.
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared to
do
specifically
that, but
do it?
Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by.
So Donald Trump did not denounce white supremacy, but we have to note R. Katie Simpson was at a bar with a group of Republicans in Ohio last night watching, and at least with that group, they weren't bothered by the fact that Donald Trump did not denounce white supremacy. In fact, they were glad that the president pushed back by asking Joe Biden to denounce Antifa and what he called the radical left. I'm wondering, what does that tell you about how well Donald Trump did last night with his own base of supporters?
Well, the first comment I have is shame on them for the misinformation that they're carrying around with them. What it does tell me is that his misinformation has been working pretty well with his own supporters. Again, Antifa isn't an actual organization. That's just factually true. It's just kind of a theory of how people want to live their lives. But there's no organization of Antifa. Chris Wallace was right to point that out. But, Michael, what I'd like to tell you is his answer wasn't just that he didn't talk about, racism on the right or white supremacy. It was that he told the Proud Boys to stand back and stand by. That's quite the opposite. To me, when I heard that, it frightened me. It's like stand by, get ready to do bad things. Oh, goodness, that was a really, really scary answer. So it wasn't that he failed to denounce white supremacy. It was that he told white supremacists to stand by.
Todd, we are watching from here, and of course, a couple more debates. The next one's slated for Miami. Thank you for this. Appreciate your insight. That is Todd Graham, the Director of Debate for Southern Illinois University. He joins us in St. Louis, Missouri.